What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the shop. My name's Jake for those that are new here, and behind me is my dad's 2005 Dodge Ram 1500. For those that have been following along for a long time, in the shop here has been this in the background, and in this video we're finally going to get this thing going. Back before we even started YouTube, had a situation where the oil did not get checked with this motor that was in here, and a rod started knocking in it when my dad was hauling a car for my brother Jason, and so it got parked back in about 2017, 2018, somewhere right there, and ever since then it hasn't been down the road. In 2019, we pulled it in here into the shop not long after my grandparents' auction, and we pulled the motor out of it, thinking that we could rebuild the bottom end of it. Turns out that was not the case. Here is the block over here. This has been apart since 2020 then. We were doing all right with being able to rebuild the bottom end, except for when we decided that we were going to change the cam bearings when we're in there, and that's all the farther that cam comes out. So looking down in there, we found out that one of the cam bearings got welded to the cam, and they do not make a fix for that, so this block is junk. So in this video here, we are going to concentrate on getting a motor out of a parts truck that my dad has bought now, and we're going to get it into this truck and hopefully drive it out of the shop here, which would be a good thing because we need the space. It's been kind of cramped to be able to do our projects here, especially like splitting apart the tractor. It always seems like we're kind of cramped in here. And this would be very handy to be outside the shop and we actually be using it. So in this video, we're going to tackle that, and it'll be several days put together. I am sure of that already. And my brother Jason will be in this video helping me out. He's from Iowa. My parents have been up there. Jason has been on the channel before with several different projects that we have had. Maybe not necessarily projects, but definitely in the most recent video was when Mom and Dad went to the Badger Steam Show, so up in Wisconsin. And so hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, we're going to get started on this project. All right, after a long and hard fight at it, we finally got it out. Going into the motor mounts is very tight, and this one's absolutely shot. So I was in the process of pulling off the left side to be able to help us out. We're gonna have to do something different on them anyways, but it is out. We're gonna put it on the back of the Kubota, get it into the shed, and get things cleaned up here, and be able to work on it in the inside. And it's well overdue because I'm cold. right, got the motor in here into the shop. The GoPro died on me and I did not have a replacement battery at that point when we did get it pulled in here, but it's on the back of the Kubota here. A few things that we need to do here as of today is pull the motor mounts off of this one and pull the motor mounts off of that one and get it over to this block. We definitely want to get this onto the engine stand, so we want to get that one off and get this one onto it. We have the replacement studs for the exhaust here. We'll be pulling them off and making sure, because there is some of them that have busted. Typical Dodge thing here. I wish there was a fix to these, but for this year range it doesn't look like that way. But we do have 16 new spark plugs for this motor. We do have plugs and wires for this thing too, because while it's out, it is more convenient to do that than being stashed in the back of this thing, being back underneath the cowl. But another thing too is we need to pull the idler off of the other motor and the parts from it and get it onto there. We may have to change the oil pan. Another thing about the oil pan, it is leaking on this one, so we are definitely going to be pulling that one, pulling that apart, getting that cleaned up and getting it resealed to where it doesn't leak. And we may have to do something with the oil filter here. It kicks off to a forward angle, which I don't know if that's going to be a problem in here. Don't know at this point. It may not hurt us. I don't remember. But this one is straight down. That's the difference between going into half ton versus 3/4 ton. And next thing that we'll have to examine is whether the oil pans are different. So we'll have to dig the oil pan out to verify that. We want to get the intake all cleaned up. There's all kinds of dirt up here. So the idea is get this onto the engine stand. We're going to drain the oil, then flip it upside down, get as much dirt as we can while it's upside down, because that's the best way to keep all the dirt out of the intake, which has not been done that well with us wrestling around. All right, after much fight with the studs, we had to weld a nut on this one. It was snapped off. Everything else on this side come out pretty easily. We had to fight this side, this one in particularly, really bad. Welded the nut on there several times, and then finally I got it to back out. Right there. And then this one we had to weld on and back it out. Everything else come out pretty nice. All the thread holes need tapped out and make sure they're good and clean. And then we're ready for some exhaust manifolds. We need to check and make sure that those are true, or either that or pull out my dad's old ones there, which them need to come out anyways, and do them. Make sure they're true. But got the oil pan off, got a bunch of this cleaned up. I still need to get the oil residue off. We're gonna use my dad's oil pan because the hole for the drain plug is looking a bit messed up, so we're gonna use dad's old one here. They're the same oil pan, so get it cleaned up. We'll get a new oil pan seal in, and we'll be golden on the oil pan here before too long. All right, good morning everybody. I do apologize that it's very smoky in here. Just got the fire going here for this morning. Had my kerosene heater going here for a little while. Turned it off because you won't be able to hear me. But I figured I'd give you guys an update here. The manifolds that come out of this truck are better than the ones that come off of this motor. They don't teeter near as much, teeter-totter. There is a little bit, very little for this side. We're thinking that the gasket will take that up. These Hemis are known for warped headers here, or manifolds, however you want to call them. So we need to get that done. I do have a set of valve cover seals for this. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, so then we ain't got to worry about that. This one side here, it's obvious that it's not leaking. This side we're kind of questioning because it is just wet on this side, and we want to give this motor the best shot that we can. Hopefully by the end of the day here, this motor will be sitting in there. Once again, we'll put you all on time lapse. We'll print. That's the best way to do this. Some of you guys not necessarily coming to this channel for automotive type stuff, but this is the project that we are working on, so All right, GoPro died on our time lapse, but got this valve cover all buttoned up. Got it chained back onto it, and we're ready to lift it into the truck. I added a couple more points of contact here just to help us keep us balanced in there once we get it over to that point, but we're ready to go in. All right, good morning, everybody. My voice is a little bit hoarse, but got the fire going again here this morning. We are nowhere close to being professionals about this. We didn't know, but we grabbed the wrong hardware for the top 4 bolts on the top side of the transmission. And we fought it for hours yesterday, and so our time lapse is pretty much of us trying things that wasn't working, and then I tried the bolt that we're using into one of the holes for the block, old block here, and wasn't getting it to go in. So we figured out that we had the wrong hardware. Went out to the parts truck out there and grabbed the 4 bolts that we pulled out of the top there, because for whatever reason in our hardware we didn't have another set of 4 smaller ones. So got those in there after the GoPro died, and now we're actually doing some good. So we still have one of the 4 top ones to get tight, and then we'll want to pull our bracket back off, get 4 bolts into the torque converter, get the bracket back up on the underneath, and then get a starter in the bracket, motor mount bracket, getting it all tight to the transmission and to the differential. And then it's working on the top side here, getting everything plugged in, get the intake on, and we'll be going forward in a lot faster manner. Like I said, we're nowhere close to being professionals, and it's been 5 years since we've even messed around with this truck. So the good thing is that we pulled apart the other one out there, so we kind of had an idea of what we're doing, but somehow we missed looking at the correct hardware going into the top 4. So it kind of looks like on our time lapse that a bunch of guys not knowing what they're doing is messing around with that. everybody, it has been a week and we are back at this. At least I am. Got some antifreeze that Dad had up at the house, and going to work on trying to get some more antifreeze in this, and maybe we'll see if this thing will run, and hopefully we can drive this thing out of here, and that'll be the end of the project. So let that settle just a little bit. Just clicks. Well, that's not good. I guess I will investigate as to why it just clicked. Alright everybody, it has been I think close to a week now, and got the truck up on jack stands. I am going to drop the fuel tank and pull it out, make sure that the tank is somewhat clean. There's probably some varnished fuel in it that'll probably need to be cleaned up, besides my 5 gallons of gas that I put in it. But I'm going to pull the other fuel tank out of the parts truck. It is very cold outside and the wind's blowing very hard from the north, and it's not going to be fun out there, but it needs to be done. There's not much fuel in there. I believe that the 5 gallons that are stuck in it is about the only thing that is in this one. There's probably even less in the other one, the way it sounded to me when I beat on it. So but it all could be on how that one is situated as far as being level or not, which I don't think it's quite level anyway. So anyways, I'm gonna first drop this one and get it cleaned up as best as I can before I pull it out from underneath the truck. So I will use a floor jack to be able to help me out on this one. The other one, I don't have that much room, so it'd be on a hope and prayer, which I've gotten to down where I've had hardly any fuel in these, and been able to get them out. So I just hope that I have enough height between the frame rail and coming out. So anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna work on this, and I'll bring you back when I have this one out. Alright, it has been a while since I've had this camera on, but the porch truck had a different fuel tank, so we ended up taking out this fuel pump. But before we did that, we verified that we are getting 12 volts at the connector of the fuel pump, and we also directly put 12 volts to this thing at the old pump here that's in the back of my truck right now. But it was not doing anything, and once I got this opened up, there's definitely some varnished fuel down in the bottom. One of the hoses to the fuel pump was sitting up in there, disintegrated. So it's a good thing that going ahead and doing a fuel pump anyways, even though we have to. But next thing to do here is I want to try to get some of that crud cleaned out right there where the fuel pump sits, and we're wanting to do seafoam, pretty heavy dose here, and then get the fuel pump in and hopefully get it stuck back underneath the truck. Alright, we got the fuel tank back up underneath. Had to replace a clip. Dad was able to pick up a Dorman kit here to replace the one that snapped. That goes to the fuel line, the pressure coming out of the pump. Dad's wiping off the window now. The only other thing is to see if it'll fire up, which I think it will.
Well, I've hit it several times now.
Yeah, it should. The only thing we didn't do is make sure that that line was cleared.
Huh?
Yeah, the fuel line coming up. But if you're putting pressure back there, well. Depends on how potent that gas is, too.
You put all that
I put 5 gallons in it.
5 gallons of fresh gas in it. I think the thing didn't have nothing in it.
I don't know what's there. All right, so what we got going on here is we're jumpering the relay here to fake out the fuel pump and get it running. Got the Schrader valve out of the fuel rail here on this side. Got a hose connected, and we're pumping right into a 5 gallon bucket here.
It's gonna take a little bit.
Well, I mean, you're doing 19 miles to a gallon, basically. I mean, yeah, it don't look that terrible, but evidently it's not very.
We don't smell it great.
No, it don't smell pleasant at all. It smells like bad gas. Yeah, I'm seeing it on the outside there. I don't know if this camera's picking it up. But hopefully we can get some better gas in this thing and it will run on that. what I was doing is using some of our throttle body and air intake cleaner, and that's what was getting it hot enough to run that way, which is not good because it was blowing all kinds of dirt right up into the intake here out of the radiator. Even though we blew out this radiator, blew out all kinds of things when we got this thing to get closer together. But at least we know this motor runs. Alright, we got 10 gallons plus a little bit in this 5-gallon bucket. Had about 2 gallons in a gas can here at the shop. Poured into it, run it just a little bit that way. Was getting a pretty nice smell out of that, so as far as that actually smelled like gas. So now we're gonna try again. Try it. I think it'll go. We got it to idle. We kind of went with what my brother was thinking and got her going on some ether for a little bit, and then it started picking up on some cylinders to where it ran on itself, and so we've just been running it here. It's still missing, but at least it's idling.
All right, I decided to come down here this evening and see if this truck will run. Last time we got it running, but it was still missing on a 1 or 2 cylinders, not sure. But anyways, we're trying to bring these injectors back around. So we got it good and warm last time, so we've let it cool down. It's been a couple days, and I thought that I would come back and see how this thing runs now. So that's what I'm up to right now. I just hit the key. I did push on the accelerator a little bit because I was unsure if it was going to take off or not, but it took off and it's sitting there idling. I think I hear at least 1 cylinder missing in it yet, but I'll get it warmed up again good, so we'll see if that will bring these injectors back around here eventually. I've had this thing running for about, well, it's over 30 minutes now. It's as warm as it's gonna get, temperature wise. Temperature gauge is up. The muffler has a typical Dodge place that it rusted out, so I'm wanting to get a glass pack and put on it. So I want to do some measuring for that here while I'm here this evening. All right, Jake was working here in the shop. It is raining today, but so there's a lot of extra noise. I'm gonna fire this truck up. He said he had it running a little bit a while ago, but I'm gonna fire it up again and run her again and warm it up and see if it helps. Well, it don't sound too bad sitting there idling, but it's still got the mess to it. Really need to get it down and get to putting it a little bit more work, I guess. Drive it around, I think that'd help. But like I said last time, I want to get the muffler is blowed out on the top side like Dodges do, and I want to get that changed out while we got it up on jack stands. So got stuff ordered for that, but just haven't got it yet. So I don't know, another heat cycle on it. We'll just keep at it. All right, in one of the clips working on the 2005, I mentioned that the muffler in this truck was all blowed out. That was actually the top side of the muffler. You can see the big old hole in it there, and down that seam, it's all coming apart. So that was blowing right up at the bottom of the bed, which gets it pretty warm at times and not real good on that. So I just cut it out. Cut it each side. This was, we had to take the torch to it and actually get the pieces off of the ends of the tailpipes, so they're still under the truck. And I am replacing it with a glass pack. I've got to custom make my own glass pack here. So I got 2 pieces with a 15-degree bend. I think I can make that work right. The outlet on this is higher at the back on that muffler than where it goes in at the front. That was it's lower in the front, so that kind of it offsets through the muffler. So that's why I got the 2 bends, and these are just pieces slid into this glass pack. The whole assembly right now is too long, so I'm going to cut about 2 inches off of each one of these bend pieces. So that's what's up now. All right, got everything cut and fit in, had it under the truck, and now I've got everything tacked, welded to where I want it. I'll weld it up good outside the truck, and then we'll put it under there and install it.
Alright, as you've seen in that time lapse there, everything is welded up now. Now it's ready to stick underneath it, throw some clamps on it, see what she sounds like. Alright, it's kind of hard to stick you where you can see something underneath, but I'll put this on time lapse.
Alright, here it is under the truck. For best the GoPro will do here. And I'm in the way, but there's the front coming towards the back. Right there, hooked onto the tailpipe then. So we got her under here, so we'll fire her up and see what she sounds like.
Alright, got it sitting on the ground, and now Dad's going to drive it out for the first time in 5 years. First thing that it needs is a bath. Alright, we went down the road and basically got a quarter mile north of the farm here. Farm's right directly south, and it don't go no more. We believe it may be out of gas because there wasn't a whole lot in it when we began in the first place.
Put 5 gallon in it.
5 gallon in it, but who knows. So we got more gas coming. We'll see if that fixes it. Alright, gas fixed it. Imagine that. Alright, we have a nice empty hole here. The truck is up at the farm there. So anyways, that'll do it. An ending for this video and another project done. Just for another project to go right there, hopefully, within a short period of time here. So anyways, if you got to this point in the video, I just want to say thank you, and it sure does mean a lot. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We got that 1070 that'll be another project here. And without further ado, we'll catch y'all on the next one.